In this problem, it is said that in a class test, the marks scored by 11 students are these. Okay, you need to find out all the four quartiles. Okay, the median, the lower quartile, upper quartile, and the interquartile range. Let us first proceed to find out the median. Now, if you remember from your class 9 knowledge, in order to find out the median, what we do is we first arrange the given observations in ascending order. Okay, so what we are going to do here is we are going to arrange these observations in ascending order. So your marks in ascending order is 3, 5, 6, 7, 11, 13, 15. And if you see there are two 17s, we will write 17 one after the other. And then you have a 19 and then you have 20. Okay, so how many observations are there? 11 observations. Okay, so here n must be equal to 11 because there are 11 observations. Fine. Now we shall proceed to find out the first one, which is the median. So here n is equal to 11, which is odd. So what should be the median? Median should be, according to the result, we know that if n is odd, the median is the n plus 1 by 2th observation, which is 11 plus 1 by 2th observation, which is your 6th observation. Okay, and the 6th observation here is, this is your first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. Finally, so median is your 13. Okay, so this is how we find out the median. We have done this back in class 11, in your class 9. So this is your median. Now we shall proceed to find out the lower quartile or Q1. Let me just erase this. Lower quartile. Q1. Lower quartile, you know, is 3n by 4th observation. N here is 11. So put n is equal to 11, which is 33 by 4th observation. And 33 by 4th observation is 8.25th observation. Now, obviously, you cannot find 8.25th observation. So what you do is you find out the 9th observation. So you have first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth. This is the 9th observation. So the lower quartile is 17. Okay. Lower quartile is not 3n by 4. It is n by 4. Not 3n by 4. My mistake. So 11 by 4th observation, which is 2.75th observation. 2.75th observation means the third observation. So your first, second, third. So this is your 6. So the lower quartile is 6. Okay. Next we look at the upper quartile of Q3. Upper quartile, this is your part 3. Upper quartile Q3 is 3n by 4th observation. So 3 into 11 by 4th observation, which is 33 by 4th observation, which is 8.25th observation. 8.25th observation means the 9th observation. That means first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth. So you have the 9th observation as 17, and that is your upper quartile. Okay. And finally, you have your interquartile range. Fourth, interquartile range. You know, interquartile range is Q3 minus Q1. Q3 we calculated to be 17, and Q1 we calculated to be 6. So 17 minus 6. So interquartile range is 11. Okay. So this is the first type of question that can be given. That is, a series of observations may be given. Okay. And you will have to find out the median and the quartiles. The second kind of question that you can get is this, that is an ungrouped frequency distribution. Now this is a frequency distribution that does not contain class intervals. Okay, so therefore this is called an ungrouped frequency distribution. In case of an ungrouped frequency distribution, let's see how to find out the mean, median and the quartiles. Okay, so first what we shall do here is we shall draw 3 columns. First one will be for your heights, because we need to find out the median height. Okay, we need to find out the median of this data. So that means the first column will be for heights. There are 7 columns in total here. We'll draw 7 rows here. The first column will be for variates, which variates means the data of which we need to find out the median. So this here is heights. The second will be for frequency or number of students. Finally, third will be your cumulative frequency. CF. Okay, cumulative frequency. Do you know there are 2 types of cumulative frequencies? Anyone can tell me what are the 2 types of cumulative frequencies?
Type of cumulative frequency.
Yes. There are two types actually, but mostly we don't name it so that people don't get confused. uh, we have the less than type cumulative frequency and we have the more than type cumulative frequency. What we do here is less than type mostly. Less than type we do mostly because so that students don't get confused. In the textbook also, if you see, they have not mentioned anything about less than or more than type. But actually, cumulative frequencies are of two types: less than and more than. And we deal normally with the less than type cumulative frequencies. Okay, you either deal with more than or less than. So we are dealing with less than here mostly, not mostly, absolutely, in fact. So this is cumulative frequency that I'm going to show you is less than type. That is for the first observation, the frequency is 6. So we write 6 as it is. The next cumulative frequency will be 6 plus 4, 10. The next will be 10 plus 11, 21. Next one will be 21 plus 9, 30. Next one will be 30 plus 16, which is 46. Next one will be 46 plus 12, which is 58. And the last one will be 58 plus 2, which is equal to 60. So here, if you see clearly, what is the total frequency here? Total frequency here is 60. We are
60.
adding all this. Okay. So this is the total frequency. Let's write it. Total frequency is n is equal to 60. Now we shall find out all the median and the quartiles. First, will deal with the median. Let's say this is even, although even or not does not matter for quartiles. Even for median, it does not matter, but for starters, we'll take it as median. We'll take it as even or odd. So median here is, since it is even, so we shall take n by 2th observation plus n by 2 plus 1th observation divided by 2. I put the value here, 60 divided by 2th observation plus 60 by 2 plus 1th observation divided by 2, which is 30th observation plus 31st observation divided by 2. Now let's see which one is the 30th and which one is the 31st observation. If you see the 30th observation, if you look at the table, the 30th observation here, this is the 30th observation. You need to look at the cumulative frequencies column. 30th observation is here. And which one is the 30th observation? It is 154. So we write 30th observation as 154 plus. Now we need to locate the 31st observation. Now 31st observation, what you see is that 31 lies between 30 and 46. So 31st observation must lie somewhere over here. That means whatever is the 30th observation, it must lie after your 154. So that is why we take 155 as the 31st observation. So we write 155 divided by 2, and that's it. Any questions here? Okay. Fine. So we have 154 plus 155, which will give you 309 divided by 2, which is 154.5. And this is our required median. Okay. Now we locate the quartiles, the lower quartile and the upper quartile. First, the lower quartile. Lower quartile Q1 is n by 4th observation. N here is 60. So 60 by 4th observation, which is your 15th observation. Now let's locate which one is the 15th observation. We look at the cumulative frequencies column. 15th observation. See that 15 lies here between 10 and 21. So here will lie your 15th observation. But since 15 is greater than 10, we will take this as our 15. Yes.
153.
Tell me. Anyone wanted to say anything? So this we'll take as our 15th observation because 15 is after your 10. So that is why any 15th observation will lie in this class 153. So this is 15th observation is 153. Okay. Let us now see what how to find out the upper quartile exactly the same way. So the third one here is upper quartile Q3, 3n by 4th observation, 3 into 60 by 4th observation, which is 45th observation. Now again look at the cumulative frequencies column, 45th observation. You see that again here, 45th observation lies between 30th observation and 46th observation lies between these two. So here you have your 45th observation between these two. But since 45 is greater than 30, that is why we take this as our 45th observation, that is 155. Okay, so that's it. Your upper quartile and lower quartile. The fourth question is find out the interquartile range. We have already found the upper and the lower quartile. So interquartile range will be Q3 minus Q1, which is 155 minus, and we found the lower quartile to be 153, which is 2. Any questions on this? How to find out the median of an ungrouped frequency distribution? Okay. Next, we proceed to find out the median with the help of graphs, that is ogive, for a group frequency distribution. Let's see how to find out the median of a group frequency distribution. We shall see this problem here. This is the problem. Okay. Example 5. I have not written the problem, and yes, I have written the problem here. This is the problem. The marks obtained by 200 students in an examination are given below, and this is the distribution of marks. Okay, you see that this frequency distribution that is given to you contains class intervals. Therefore, we have to use ogive for this. We have to use a graph paper for this in order to find out the median. The marks uh, are given in the class intervals. That means you will have to find out the median of this one. Okay, this is your variate marks, median marks. Okay, and this is the frequency, number of students. Okay, the question is draw an ogive for the given distribution. From the graph, find out median, the lower quartile, upper quartile, semi-interquartile range, and finally you have two extra questions which says the number of students scoring above 65 marks. And last question is if 10 students qualify for the merit scholarship, uh, find the minimum marks required to qualify. Okay, now see, in this kind of a problem, first of all, we shall draw our table containing again three columns. First will be for your class intervals or class boundaries as it is given. Now remember something very important. If in any median problem, if class uh, if your class limits are given, okay, that is non-overlapping intervals are given, you will convert them to overlapping intervals, you will convert them to class boundaries. Okay, but in this case the class boundaries are already given, so we don't need to convert, and you already know how to convert class limits to class boundaries just by adding point 0.5 to the lower class boundary and subtracting zero point 0.5 from the upper class boundary. We have all done all this in class 9. So in case of median, always remember whenever class limits are given, always convert them first to class boundaries and then work. In mean, it does not matter. You can work with class limits in mean. But in median, you cannot work with class limits. You must convert it first to class boundaries. Okay. So let us draw the columns here. 3 columns will be required. First will be for your class boundaries. Next column will be for your frequency. And finally, the third column will be for your cumulative frequency. The class boundaries. In this case, marks. This is your frequency, which is number of students. And finally, you have the cumulative frequency, CF. Okay. Let's write down the class boundary that are given here. We have first of all 0 to 10, frequency 5, 10 to 20, frequency is given to be 10, 20 to 30, frequency given to be 14, 30 to 40, frequency is given to be 21, 40 to 50, frequency is given to be 25, 50 to 60, frequency is given to be 34, 60 to 70, frequency is given to be 36, 70 to 80, frequency is given to be 27, 80 to 90, frequency is given to be 16, and finally you have 90 to 100, frequency is 12. Okay, that's it. Now we shall calculate the cumulative frequency. For the first one, cumulative frequency is 5. We keep it as it is. For the next one, it will be 5 plus 10, 15. Next 15 plus 14, which is 29. Next 29 plus 21, which is 50. Next 50 plus 25, which is 75. Next is 75 plus 34, which is 109. Next 109 plus 36, which is 145. 145 plus 27, which is 172. 172 plus 16, which is 188, and 188 plus 12, finally, which is 200. So your total frequency here is n is equal to 200. Okay. Now, in case of large number of when the observations see as big as 200, it does not matter whether n is even or odd in median also. This you will do in your later classes, in your class 11 and 12. You'll see that for very large number of observations, it does not matter whether n is even or whether n is odd. So that is why when we are drawing with the help of graph, we normally take the median to be n by 2th observation only. We don't consider whether n is even or n is odd. Whether n is odd or even, we take n by 2. Okay. So total frequency n is equal to 200. So therefore, we now there is one thing that we must do here, and that is with the help of this table, we are required to plot a graph. But before plotting a graph, it is always very convenient to get the coordinates. And how do you get the coordinates? It is always very convenient to draw this kind of a table. Before drawing the graph, you must draw this kind of a table so that you don't get confused with the coordinates. And what are the coordinates? Let's see. First of all, we'll start with 0, then 10, 20. Okay, so this is your x coordinate. 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100, because maximum is still 100. So we have your marks from 0 to 100 here. So that is why my x coordinates run from 0 to 100. Now we shall see the y coordinates. Now you have to be very careful here that when we are taking 0 here, the first cumulative frequency must be 0 always. Okay, for the first, when you're calculating the, when you are writing the y coordinate of the first, of the lower class boundary of the first class, that cumulative frequency will always be 0. It doesn't matter even if it starts from say 50 to 60, even if it starts like this. When you are considering 50, this is your x coordinate. When you're writing your x coordinate as 50, the y coordinate will always be 0 for the only the for the first one. For the next one, 10 here, we take 5. So this is your 5. Next, for 20, we shall take 15. For 30, we shall take 29, and so on. So you have the next one as 15 and then 29. 15, 29. And the next one you have 50, 75, 109. Then you have 145, 172, 188, and finally you have 200. Okay. So this, all this form my x coordinate, all this form my y coordinate. Now we shall plot this on the graph paper, which I don't have time right now. So I'll stop here. Please go through this, and tomorrow I'll be plotting the graph and answering the questions that are there. That is finding out the median, the quartiles, and all the other questions. Okay. So that is what I stop here for today.